Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing a second update on the save file that I'm currently working on for the custom world St. Greer Islands. If you didn't watch the first video, I recommend doing so. I'll put a link above for you to click and then you can come back to this if you want. But I have quite a few commercial lots, a couple of residential I've put in and I've been building up. And I also put in this school pre-made lot that someone made from Tumblr. It may have been from the same creator, Asexual Sims, who's no longer active, who made the city hall, but I'm not 100% sure because they didn't put anything in the description. So I'm thinking I'm just going to use this, and then the rest of the the rabbit holes I'll probably try to make myself because I already started doing that. But this is the world view right now of everything that I've been working on. There's quite a bit more from the previous video that I did for sure. I do want to do a in-world view, but also a map view as well. But so this was something, that I worked on. This area I've been working on quite a bit. I'll show that in a moment. I think what I'll show first is over here. So let's go into the world view itself. Now this is a rabbit hole, of course. I think it was from the Pets expansion, and it is the grocery slash diner, I think. Yeah, it's a diner and grocery store. So I just added some outdoor seating and some plants and things like that. And the rest was already built into the world, so it kind of works together. I didn't want to put too much so you know that it's routable. And yeah, so that's what this looks like here. I think it's cute. And then if you go over to this area right here, I also set up a spa and bookstore. Now it looks very bare, but that's because the world isn't fully set up yet. So if you look at it from this angle, I'm thinking of putting a comic book store here maybe, or maybe the movie theater. I don't know what I'll fit here because this is a smaller lot size. And then there's other stuff in the back here, which I think I'll try to either do. That's another thing. I didn't even say that yet, but I'm thinking of doing brownstone apartments in this area specifically. So I think I set it up here. You can't see it since there's no lots set up right now, but I think I put maybe pre-set it up where I'm gonna so I know right here by the nectar area here, and then maybe in these two lots here, so it kind of wraps around like a tiny little brownstone apartment community, if that makes sense, and it's right around the city center because I feel like that makes sense. This is more of like a city area, so I'm thinking of doing that. And so that was that area. This stuff is some of it's pre-set up by Gruesome when they made this world. It just doesn't show my map for some reason. It's kind of weird, but it's whatever. So then we have here, we could take a look at this really quick. This is actually a house. This is a taste of what the houses are going to look like in this portion of the world. Like I mentioned, I wanted something a bit more American, maybe Cape Cod styled. So this is a bigger home though, so it's not necessarily how all the houses are going to look. This is more like giant family homes for Sims maybe have a bit more money or something. And this is what it looks like. I didn't fully furnish it, but I really like the landscaping, and I actually got this idea from some photos when I was looking up Cape Cod and stuff like that to get some inspiration. So this is a very large home. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of rooms in it. It might be a 4-bedroom home. It's one of the largest houses I made in this save so far. So this is meant to be sort of a garage converted into a living space. So there's a bathroom put in here. That's why I put this here, because it's meant to be where it was meant to be a garage, so that's where all the electrical wiring and stuff is. And then I have space for a car here. And then we go over here and we have the kitchen is one of the only rooms besides the bathrooms that I fully decorated, or for the most part. It's not fully decorated, but it's definitely has a lot more in it where it would be ready to go if you wanted to have Sims start living in here. And then this is meant to be a bedroom or an office, whatever you want. This is meant to be the living room. I like these stairs. I don't know what set from the store they're from, but I use them because I like them. And then upstairs is over here. We have a pretty spacious hallway. I want it to be routable and easy to access it, especially if it's a bigger family home. This is the biggest bedroom here. Though you could technically split this up into another room as well if you wanted it to be smaller. And then we have one bedroom here where I just put a bed and a nightstand. And then this is a bathroom. And then there is a empty bedroom over here, and this is the only other full bathroom in the house, so it's just this one and then the one by the garage, and then there's a pool set up here. I felt like this made sense because it's meant to be a family who has more money in this house, and they're by like the riverside, but they don't have like a bay backyard, so their compromise would be getting their own, I guess not really a compromise, but they would be getting their own pool instead. But this is the only house in this area here that has like an area to the, I guess you could say, to like where they would drive out technically if it was being realistic onto the main road, and then some of them don't have that, so that's where I'll probably maybe do like the brownstones or something, or maybe like a smaller house. I hope you all don't mind me going into depth and explaining like my ideas for this, because this is like, I kind of enjoy this part of building up save files, is like kind of thinking things out. And I enjoy explaining the ideas that I have to kind of let the vision kind of come through. But yeah, so again, like I showed this area, but over here I don't think I fully showed it yet. I can't remember. So the sim that I have plopped down for now, she's sitting right here, and this is a lot that I did a speed build on my channel for. So I did alter it quite a bit though, so if you did download the original version, this altered version will be quite different. It's still the same lot size, it just has a lot more added to it. And I did remove some stuff because this world has this brick laid out flooring that's built into the world, so by deleting the spray paint that I had for the floor, it actually just revealed this, and it made it look really, it melded together and looked really cohesive, and I really love that. So that was really well thought out on Gruesome's part. They're such a great like world creator. But yeah, so anyway, this is the lot, and I did alter the exterior as well too, because I wanted this didn't have brick on this part, but I wanted to kind of like, I guess, meld together better. But let me see, what did I alter? So what an outfit, amazing. That's the Nectar merchant. Okay, so I did alter this a bit, and I actually prefer it this way too, to be honest. So there's archways to go into the restaurant part in the back, and it has a full wall instead, because I only had a half wall. I don't know why I designed it the way I did last time. Sometimes you realize, what was I thinking? And it's good to be able to make fixes. But yeah, I would like to ask, so regarding the restaurant part here, the bistro set. Now this is the store version, the original version of it, but there's also a modded version that I have in my game, but it's a separate object to place into, like, for your gameplay. Now you do need the original store object, mind you, but for anyone who is following along with, you know, my building of this save file and is interested in possibly downloading it when it's available, do you prefer that I use the modded version of these objects? Because then I would probably just do that, because I'm going to do that regardless for my gameplay, because I prefer the modded version. It just makes it function like 10,000 times better. So let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in, because if not, I'll just leave the original store object and just alter it when I, you know, go to play in the save. But anyway, so this is how it is. Not too much was altered on like the first floor from what I originally did. And then this is only a second floor for the like cafe area, though I did alter this quite a bit. I added more space to it, and I made this only a smaller bit of like a balcony space, and I added more like walking room here, which I feel like it worked out. And then I added in like a half little wall piece here to kind of block it off for, you know, quote unquote safety reasons. And then I actually added a tiny basement, because this is a nectary. I changed the lot type from a cafe to a nectary, so you could come here to make wine if you want your Sims to do that. So it's very tiny. It's actually in the back, in like the dumpster area. You have to use a ladder, but I feel like a lot of Sims don't autonomously use those machines, I don't think. So no one will really, I think, go down there, because there's nothing else to do besides make nectar. So I think that should be okay. And that's really it for, I think, is that it for this area? I think that's it for this area. Okay, I lied. There's this one here, but we'll come back to it because I'm going to fast forward, so it'll just be open during the evening, because I wanted you to get the vibe of what it's like when it's open. So we'll come over here first. Now, I have a couple of things over here. I think they're all, no, they're not all commercial lots. I'm sorry. I think most of them are though. So this is right here is a tiny, tiny little lavender field slash tea house. And this, I felt like it was perfect because I think this is called Lavender Garden or Lavender Fields, the like street that this is supposed to be named. I really wanted to use the lavender plants. Now, mind you, I did mention in my other video, this is a default replacement. You can actually find the link for it somewhere on my Tumblr page. I reblogged the mods that I typically use in my game. But yeah, you can check my Tumblr, by the way, if you are interested in downloading anything that I reblog. I reblog most of the stuff that I have in my game onto that page. Anyway, so this is the tea house. It's very tiny, but I think it's really adorable. And I think it gets the job done. Like, it's something to do. Tiny little bathroom here, of course, because they're here to sip tea. They're going to have to pee. Don't want Sims peeing themselves. And then this is a tiny, kind of extravagant little tea room. We have a couple of two-seaters, one for top table, so you have a nice little tea party. And then outside, you see here the bee hive boxes. So, I feel like that makes sense because it's a lavender field. You have bees to come here to pollinate, but also, of course, for functionality reasons, your Sims can come here to collect honey, beeswax, and use them for recipes and stuff. So I felt like it's kind of a nice little additive touch for this lot. And then next to that, so we have over here, which I'm really proud of this lot. I think it's really adorable. So this is going to be like the main shopping center area of this portion of the world. And I'm not done with it. Obviously, this is completely empty over here and on this side too. But this is technically a sports bar. So this is like where the sports bar is located in this building. But there's also multiple kind of shops or areas here within this building itself. This is the first floor. We'll actually go over here first. I think this is really adorable. I think it's really cozy too. So this is supposed to be a bookshop where you would come to either read and have a nice little relaxation day, or you would come here to purchase books, because I put a book register. And I wanted the idea that maybe it's the local bookshop for maybe students. Maybe the schools, or whether it's university or high school, whatever, can have textbooks sold here if they need them, and they can come grab books for school or something like that. And it's kind of like that, like a very community-based local sort of thing. So this is what it looks like. I think it's really adorable. I like the dark academia sort of look. I think it's very inviting. And then this is the the main, I guess, part of the lot, because it's the sports bar. And we'll I guess we could look from this angle. I'm not sure how to do this, but this is the entry point. I really went all out with the sporty stuff. I made it a little bit tacky, I guess you could say, if that's I guess the right way to describe it, but in a cute way. I wanted it to be kind of like the local pub in this area, if that makes sense. And I feel like a sports bar would make sense to do that. So we have the foosball table over here. I put a lot of stuff on the wall. I do reuse some picture frames because it's limiting in what we have, and I didn't want to use too much custom content. And then we have, of course, the bar area. This is where they come through, the bartender. So thankfully it works. And we have all of the clutter, all the things they use to make the food they serve at the bar, and to mix the drinks, and they have all the little knickknacks and the collectibles and things like that there. And then on the second floor, so I did block off the second floor on either side for the other two portion of the building, because I didn't want to use them and I didn't want it to look empty and weird. So we just have this area for the sports bar available, and we have the dartboard. This is where the restrooms are. We have some video games, and then the main attraction, I guess you could say, are the pool tables, where they have their own little area over here. This is a custom rug, and I think that's about it for that. And then if we go back downstairs, so this is another restaurant, but obviously this is in a different portion of town. But we have over here the kitchen area for the chef, and then all the tables do have menus, so they all are functional. And I think it's really cute. And we have a tiny little bathroom right over here. That's it for this lot, really. That's all that we have going on here. But I think it's enough. It's a lot. Then we have over here, so this is a tiny little strip area that is a lot in the world that comes with it. And I didn't know what to do with it, so I made it a tiny little hangout spot. Actually named it a hangout lot type, but it is technically a park. So it's just kind of an in-between little tiny town square area for Sims to come and relax, hang out by the waterfall, sit and watch nature, people watch, play some chess. Just a nice place to relax. And then this, I'm not fully done with it, but it is the consignment shop. Now, I haven't blocked anything out or anything like that, but I'm thinking of doing that for the entire second floor of this building. So I think I might only do the first floor as functional. I'm thinking of putting a bakery here. Let me know your thoughts on that, because I'm not sure if I want, it's so big that I'm thinking if maybe either blocking this off and only using this portion, but I don't really know if I want it to look like that in between, because it might kind of take you out of the immersion of it, if that makes sense, because it'll kind of be in between the building. I feel like it's a little it might be odd or awkward. But this is the consignment shop. I went all out okay, with making it look like a thrift store. I want this to be where you get all of the local collectibles, all the junk, or all the things that were donated that people no longer wanted, or that family members donated when, maybe it was passed down to them. Go here, things people no longer want, but things, other people might find useful. So that's what we have going on here. We have the whole, I love doing this like a clock wall. I love doing that because maybe this is supposed to be like the owner, of the consignment shop. And this is like, they're really proud of the collection of clocks they found. And maybe, they're just like really like to hang them up over there to see, for everyone to see in case they want them. And then I like the idea of them maybe working on a secondhand computer tower or something. Maybe they're really like handy or something, and things like that. And yeah, I didn't put. I don't know if I'm gonna put more here or just leave it empty to make it look like people purchase stuff. But I think for the most part, I think it gets the idea across. I feel like it looks how I want it to, so I'm kind of proud of how that looks. We'll kind of move over here now. Now this is literally not anything to really show. I'm thinking of putting a cathedral church here. I do like to use type of like cathedral or Gothic style buildings for wedding venues for my Sims because I like to have variety. I'm also thinking of doing another like outdoor wedding venue for the other portion of this world, so there's different like contrasts and like the aesthetic for each of them. But yeah, so this one, it's going to take me some time because I'm going to need to think out the floor plan and have the motivation to actually build a giant cathedral. But on to the next area. So this right here, I think this is the only house I plopped down. This, I have a speed build. It's very recent on my channel if you want to check it out. I don't think I altered this in the slightest. All I did was have to do a cheat to level the terrain because this slightly sunk in. And but I tested it just to make sure. So I'm thinking of keeping it in this area here. I feel like it works because you actually have, let me see, this area here. Now there is some grown stuff, like with the grass and stuff, but I guess you could kind of ignore that if you want to for immersion purposes. Yeah, but I won't show the inside because I do have this speed build on my channel. But this area is beautiful. It's really beautiful, and I feel like it's perfect for this house to be in this area. I feel like it makes sense. I do have one more thing to show. I do want to say though, just for like, letting you know in on the ideas that I have going on. So I'm thinking of putting the festival lot maybe here and making it like the quote-unquote county fair because it's more in the rural area where like it's a bit more farmland. I'm thinking of doing that, maybe put some kind of barn style or something. I might use a CC Ferris wheel, I don't know yet. And then I'll probably put the elixir consignment shop and make it kind of like surrounded by a woodsy area. I feel like that would make sense. And this might be like a little beachside rest stop because it's like right off the coast of the beach area. And I feel like it'd be cute to do little like tiny little shacks for Sims to go to the bathroom and things like that. So we have in this section here the boat area. And if you remember from my other video, I was showing off this boathouse that I made. And I was saying how I wanted to do another boathouse next to it. I did change my mind. It's not a house. It's actually a disco lounge. This is called Disco at the Docks. And it's basically a disco dance club. So the first, or I guess you could say the second floor, the top floor, is where the dance stage actually is. And I really love these pieces from, I think it's Into the Future. And then we have this roof from the Prism Art Studio from the store. It does have to use an elevator to get to all floors. I do have the lights set up, but it's not dark enough, so you won't see it right now. But I have them kind of like, I think like teal and purple and pink and stuff like that, so it looks really cute. And of course we have a DJ booth here, because why not? I don't use that object as much as I would like to kind of like, get use of it. But we do have the little, the rock radio as well, because I think when it rains it doesn't break because it's meant to be embedded in a rock. It's meant to be outdoors. And then this is the main first floor to enter the lot, and we have the only bar with the bartender is here. And I really love the lighting. I think it looks really cute. I love the neon lights and stuff. I feel like it's very 80s or 70s, I guess. And then this is below, I guess below deck, we have a basement here where there is a stage for performers, for a band. And then we have just some seating here. Oh, I have to fix that eventually. I forgot to put a light on the table. There's a tiny bathroom here. This is the only bathroom in the club. And then we have a photo booth here. We can come take photos. And that's the entire disco bar, because, you know, it's meant to be a place for Sims to kind of drink and dance the night away. So the main thing is really to dance to disco. So that's, you know, it has its purpose. It's got what it needs. So I think that's it. That's all I really have to show right now. Everything else is super work in progress to be continued. So I hope you enjoyed this, you know, I guess update tour of the save file I'm building up. If you have any comments you would like to leave, please be nice, but let me know if you enjoyed this. And if you have any maybe suggestions for, you know, the save file, if you know, I'm always open to taking suggestions, just to hear what other people are thinking, you know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider. It really helps out my channel. I would super appreciate it. Take care, and bye.